Ethan Miller sat in the dark glow of his bedroom, the only light coming from his laptop screen and the blinking blue of his cheap webcam. It was 1:13 a.m., in a quiet Texas suburb, the kind of neighborhood where nothing bad was supposed to happen. On his screen, YouTube showed a paused video titled, "I went too deep into the dark web, not clickbait." Ethan's headphones rested around his neck, still buzzing faintly with the voice of some fearless influencer bragging about hidden rooms and live chats you're not supposed to see. His parents were asleep down the hall. His little sister's nightlight glowed under her door. Ethan's heart thumped with that mix of boredom and curiosity that feels almost like a dare. He opened a folder on his desktop named School Stuff, even though it contained nothing related to school. Inside was a text file called Tor_links, TXT, filled with messy onion links he'd copied from the video description before it was taken down. He double-clicked the Tor browser, glancing once at his bedroom door to be sure it was fully closed. The browser opened with that familiar onion logo, and Ethan felt a tiny electric thrill of doing something forbidden. He pasted one of the links into the bar, shadowchat37qv.onion. The page loaded slowly, the progress bar creeping like it knew it shouldn't go any further. A black screen appeared with white text, "Welcome to room 37, live anonymous video chat. Enter at your own risk." Below it was a small checkbox. "I understand that what I see here cannot be unseen." Ethan swallowed, then clicked the box with a shaky, excited finger. A button lit up. "Enter room." He hovered his cursor over it, thinking of the warnings, the horror stories, the "don't ever do this at home" disclaimers. Then he thought of his empty subscriber count, his unviewed videos, and that quiet ache of wanting to be noticed. He whispered, "This is how they start, right?" and clicked enter. The screen went completely black for a full, uncomfortable 5 seconds. Then a loading icon appeared, spinning in the center, the word "connecting" pulsing beneath it. In the bottom left corner, a small preview window showed his own face, sleepy eyes, messy brown hair, the posters on his wall behind him. Ethan froze. He hadn't realized room 37 would automatically activate his webcam. His mouse jittered over the settings, but the camera toggle icon was grayed out and locked. A text notification popped up at the top of the screen. "Partner found, establishing connection." Ethan pulled his hoodie tighter around himself and unconsciously leaned closer to the screen. The black main window flickered once, twice, as if something was trying to push through the darkness. Then, suddenly, another camera feed snapped on screen. At first, it just looked like static grainy gray, like an old TV that hadn't fully tuned in. Slowly, a shape emerged, a figure sitting in a dimly lit room, the background completely swallowed by darkness. The person wore a smooth, featureless black mask, like polished obsidian, reflecting only the faintest suggestion of light. Ethan blinked, expecting a username or some kind of profile info, but there was nothing, just USER, unknown, at the top. A chat message popped up from the other side. "I can see you, Ethan." Ethan's throat tightened. His hands hovered above the keyboard, fingers numb. He hadn't typed his name anywhere. No login, no profile, no account. He typed back, "How do you know my name?" and hit enter. The masked figure tilted their head slightly to the left, bird-like, studying him through the black glass of the mask. Another message appeared. "You left your window open." Ethan's heart slammed in his chest. He spun his head to his right, eyes snapping to his bedroom window. The curtain was drawn, but a thin sliver of cold night air slipped through the gap where the window wasn't quite fully closed. Ethan felt suddenly exposed, as if the whole neighborhood were leaning in to watch him. He typed, more aggressively this time, "Who are you? Is this a prank?" The masked figure raised a hand, gloved in black, and slowly tapped a finger against the side of its own head. Without Ethan touching anything, his webcam light flickered, turned off for a heartbeat, then came back on. The room 37 interface froze for a second. Then a new image slid into the corner of the chat. A photo attachment. Ethan hesitated, then clicked on the thumbnail to expand it. The photo filled the screen. A grainy shot of a hallway, pale and narrow, taken from low to the ground. The carpet, the frames on the wall, the slightly crooked nightlight near the baseboardathon recognized all of it instantly. It was his hallway, outside his bedroom door. The timestamp in the corner read, 1:09 a.m., 4 minutes ago. Ethan jerked up from his chair, now completely certain someone had been inside his house. His ears strained for any sound beyond his door, the hum of the fridge, the tick of the clock, his sister's muffled breathing. He typed with trembling hands, How did you get that? The reply came instantly, without even the typing indicator. I told you, I can see you, Ethan. The masked figure leaned forward until its face filled most of the frame, the glossy black surface swallowing its own reflection. The chat window flickered again, and another line appeared. Your mother is a heavy sleeper. Ethan's stomach twisted into a cold knot. He hadn't mentioned his mom. He slammed the laptop closed on instinct, the noise loud in the silent room. For a second, everything went black, no glow, no mask, no words. But as the laptop lid hovered a few centimeters above fully closed, he saw it. The faint reflection of his own face in the screen, and behind him, over his shoulder, something tall and dark in the blurred reflection, standing where there should have been only his closet door. He snapped the laptop shut completely and stumbled backward, knocking over his chair. His chest heaved as he stared into the dark corners of his room, trying to convince himself he had imagined it. In the hallway, a floorboard creaked once, then not again. Ethan stood frozen for a full minute, listening, waiting for movement that never came. Finally, he grabbed the laptop, shoved it under his bed, and whispered to himself, "It's just some hacker, it's just online, it's not here." He pushed his dresser slightly in front of the window and forced himself to lie down. Fully dressed, shoes still on, as his eyes adjusted to the darkness, he cursed the faint red glow of his alarm clock that made every shadow look alive. On the other side of the wall, his little sister rolled over in her sleep, her nightlight casting moving shapes under her door. Ethan stared at it until his eyes burned, promising himself he would never open Tor again. Somewhere under his bed, inside the closed laptop, a tiny green light flickered on for a second. The webcam had just come back to life. Morning sunlight cut through the blinds, slicing Ethan's room into bars of light and shadow. His phone buzzed on the nightstand, vibrating against a half-finished soda can. He woke up with a stiff neck and the heavy feeling that something was wrong before he even remembered why. When the images from the night before crashed back into his mind, the mask, the hallway photo, the message about his mother, his stomach turned. His phone screen showed a notification from a number he didn't recognize, unknown. The preview text read, "You shouldn't fall asleep with your shoes on, Ethan." His blood ran cold. He slowly lifted his foot. His shoes were still on, laces messy and half untied. His throat dry. He opened the message fully. Inside was a single photo. Him, in bed, from last night. The angle was from the ceiling corner, like it was taken from a security camera he didn't have. His mouth went dry. The timestamp read 1:47 a.m. After he had hidden the laptop, Ethan bolted upright, tossing his covers aside and scanning the corners of his room. No camera, no lens, just posters, an old smoke detector, and the cracked plastic vent. He ran his hand along the ceiling line, heart punching his ribs, but there was nothing there. Downstairs, he heard the clank of dishes, his mom making breakfast. If he told her, she would take his laptop, his phone, his games, everything. And yet, for the first time, that didn't feel like enough. It didn't feel safe. At school, Ethan sat in class but barely heard a word the teacher said about fractions and decimals. His friend Tyler poked him with a pencil. "Dude, you look like you haven't slept in a week." Ethan's eyes flicked to the classroom window. For a moment, he imagined seeing that smooth black mask staring and just stayed up to late gaming. Ethan muttered, forcing a shrug. At lunch, he checked his phone again. No new messages. No calls. For a second, he let himself believe it had all been some glitch, some freak coincidence. After school, the Texas sky was a pale washed-out blue, the parking lot loud with kids and bus engines. Ethan walked home alone, backpack hanging low, earphones in but no music playing. At the last intersection before his street, he stopped at the crosswalk and glanced up at the traffic camera. The black dome reflected a tiny, curved version of himself back, just a distorted boy on a too big sidewalk. His phone buzzed. A message from unknown. "I like this angle better. You look smaller from above." Attached was another photo. A grainy zoomed-in shot of him standing at the exact crosswalk where he was right now, seconds ago. Ethan's breath hitched. He spun around, scanning over cars, houses, the grocery store, hoping to catch someone holding up a phone. Nobody was looking at him. Nobody even seemed to notice he existed. His fingers trembled as he typed, "Who are you? Stop following me." 3 dots appeared. The reply came, "You came to me first, remember?" A second message followed. "You opened the door." Ethan shoved his phone into his pocket and half jogged the rest of the way home. every sound behind him feeling like footsteps. That evening, his mom called from the kitchen. "Ethan, dinner." He forced himself to go downstairs, trying to act normal, trying not to stare at every window. His dad had left already for the night shift, leaving just Ethan, his mom, and his 8-year-old sister Lily. Lily poked at her spaghetti, humming a song from a cartoon she watched too much. "You're quiet tonight," his mom said. "Everything okay? You look pale." Ethan opened his mouth to say, "I'm fine," but what came out instead was, "Do we have cameras in the house?" His mom frowned. "Like, security cameras?" "No." "Why?" "No reason," he lied quickly, stabbing his fork into his food. Just saw something online." Lily giggled. "Ooh, did you see a ghost video again?" Ethan's phone buzzed in his pocket. He froze, suddenly afraid to even check it in front of them. Under the table, out of sight, he tilted the screen just enough to read the notification. "Unknown. Nice family dinner. But you should have locked the back door." Attached, a blurred shot of their kitchen back door. Taken from outside, the glass reflecting the warm glow of the dining room. Ethan's fork clattered against his plate. Ethan's mom asked, "You okay?" "Yeah, I'm not hungry," he muttered, standing up. "Can I be excused?" His mom hesitated, then nodded. "Just put your dish in the sink." As he walked toward the kitchen, his eyes were locked on the back door. The lock was turned halfway, not fully set. His hand shook as he slid it firmly into place, the deadbolt clicking with a sound that should have been comforting, but wasn't. Upstairs in his room, he shut the door, pushed his chair against it, and pulled the laptop from under his bed. The moment he opened it, Tor was already running. He hadn't left it that way. The Room 37 page was still open, the chat log from last night intact. A new message sat at the bottom of the chat, time-stamped 2:03 a.m. Long after he had closed the lid. "You sleep like a child, Ethan." Another, "Do you want to see what I see?" A small button had appeared below the message. Enable mirror view. Ethan's hand hovered over the trackpad. Every instinct screaming not to touch it, but there was another instinct, Tutha, one that wanted to understand, to know if this was real, if he was really in danger or just trapped in some twisted game. Very slowly, he clicked Enable Mirror View. The webcam light clicked on. His own face appeared in the main window, pale, wide-eyed. The blue glow of the laptop reflected in his pupils. In the upper left corner, a small square labeled Remote View appeared. It was dark and grainy, as if filmed in near total darkness. At first he didn't understand what he was looking at, just shapes, lines, patches of deeper black. Then the image sharpened, just a little, and he saw it. A staircase, the carpet, the scuff mark on the third step, the small framed photo on the wall halfway up. He recognized his family photo in tiny, blurred colors. It was his house. The camera angle was from somewhere just above the front door, looking up the stairs. Under the remote view label, a line of text appeared. "This is how I see you." Ethan watched, frozen, as a small figure moved into frame short, with a ponytail, wearing a unicorn t-shirt. Lily, his little sister, heading upstairs, completely unaware that someone or something was watching from inside their home. Ethan's breath stuttered in his chest. He slammed the laptop closed again, almost bending the screen. Panic surged through him. This wasn't just about him anymore. He threw open his bedroom door and ran into the hallway, yelling, "Lily!" She peeked out of her room, headphones around her neck. "What?" Ethan grabbed her by the shoulders. "Don't go near the front door, okay? Don't open it for anyone, ever. Got it?" She frowned. "You're scaring me. Just promise," he insisted, eyes shining with a fear she'd never seen in him before. Okay, I promise," she said quietly. That night, Ethan pushed his dresser in front of his bedroom door and stacked books on top of his windowsill, creating a nervous fortress. He didn't open the laptop again. He lay awake, listening for creaks, for footsteps, for any sign that the masked figure had crossed from screen into reality. Somewhere in the dark, his phone buzzed once and then went silent. He didn't check it. That was his last night of pretending that not looking meant he was safe. Then Miller sat alone in his dark bedroom at 1:13 a.m., the glow of his laptop cutting through the quiet. He opened a hidden folder labeled School Projects, though nothing inside was related to school. A text file filled with dark web links waited for him. Curiosity pushed past fear. He launched the Tor browser and pasted a link, shadowchat37qv.onion. A black page loaded slowly. "Enter room 37, at your own risk." He clicked enter. His webcam light turned on automatically. The camera toggle was locked. A loading bar flashed. Partner found. Static flickered across the screen until a human shape formed in the darkness. A smooth black mask slowly came into view. Username, unknown. Ethan typed, "Who are you?" The reply came instantly. "Hello, Ethan." His blood froze. He never typed his name. He typed, "How do you know me? Your window is open." Ethan turned. His window was open. He slammed it shut, heart racing. A new message. Too late. A photo attachment appeared. He clicked it. It showed his hallway, taken 4 minutes earlier. Someone had been inside. He typed with trembling fingers, "Where are you?" The masked figure leaned closer to its camera. Another attachment appeared. Ethan clicked. It showed him sleeping time stamped 1:47 a.m. Ethan slammed the laptop shut. A floorboard creaked outside his room. He didn't sleep. Morning brought no comfort. His phone buzzed. "You shouldn't sleep with your shoes on." Attached was a photo of him sleeping with shoes on. At school, Ethan looked sickly pale. Tyler asked what was wrong, but Ethan avoided him. Walking home, Ethan received another photo of him at the crosswalk, taken seconds earlier. "You look small from above." That evening at dinner, another message arrived. A photo of their back door, taken from outside. "Nice family dinner." Ethan locked the door immediately. Upstairs, his laptop was open again. Room 37, still active. "Do you want to see what I see?" A button appeared. Enable mirror view. Ethan clicked it. His webcam feed appeared, along with a second video window. It showed the staircase of his house, from a hidden angle. Lily, his little sister, walked right past the camera. Someone was inside. Ethan slammed the laptop shut and ran to Lily. "Don't open the door for anyone," he warned. She nodded, frightened. Next morning, they walked to school together. A message buzzed. "Don't be late today." Ethan typed, "What do you want?" "I want you to watch." After school, a black van sat on their street. Ethan grabbed Lily's hand. "We go through the back." Their backyard gate was open. Lily pulled away. "You're being weird." She ran toward the front door. Ethan sprinted after her. Minutes later, the van was gone. Lily entered the house, unharmed, or so it seemed. That night, Ethan's phone buzzed again. "Room 37 is live." He clicked. The live stream showed his staircase. A masked figure climbed upward, step by step. Ethan bolted toward Lily's room. The entire house went dark. A whisper breathed behind him. "You're late, Ethan." Something struck him hard. The lights snapped back on. Lily's room was empty. Her window stood wide open, curtains blowing in the cold night air. Her stuffed unicorn sat on the pillow, facing the open window. Ethan's phone vibrated softly. "Now, you watch like everyone else." A link followed. "Missing girl live feed." Police arrived within minutes. Ethan told them everything. No one believed a word. Days passed. No sign of Lily. Late one night, Ethan's new phone lit up. "You can't change numbers in here." Room 37 remembers. A new video appeared. Title: Episode 1, The Boy Who Watched. The thumbnail showed Ethan's terrified face. Viewer count ticked upward. 4917. Final message: "Live now -911, was never called." The screen turned pitch black. A smooth black mask faded into the darkness. Silent, watching, end.